If you thought that it takes money to make money, well, you might be right. But it doesn't necessarily take a lot of money in order to make a lot of money. There are 7 extremely profitable businesses that you can start today for less than $1,000. And in this video, I'm going to tell you about all of them. What do I mean when I say businesses that you can start today? Well, I'm talking about businesses that you can start with the skills that you already possess and the resources that you already have available to you. I'm sure that you've seen other videos like this, and they'll tell you to go start a web development company, for instance. But you don't know how to code, so you obviously can't do that today. Or they'll tell you to start a writing company. But it takes years to gather the experience that you need to write consistently and on a professional level. That's not what I'm talking about in this video. I'm talking about businesses that don't take super specialized skills and that don't require months and months of training to be profitable. All you need is $1,000 and some hard work, and any of these businesses will help you reach the next level of success. So let's get right to it. The first business that you can start for under $1,000 is a virtual restaurant. And if you've never heard of virtual restaurants, well, don't feel like you're alone because most people haven't. Traditionally, restaurants were a high capital business. You would need things like equipment, licenses, the right location, and a ton of inventory. And that can easily run up to the tens of thousands of dollars or more. But a virtual restaurant operates much differently. Basically, a virtual restaurant leverages food delivery services like DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats. Customers will order through one of these apps, and then a delivery person shows up to collect the food and then delivers it directly to the customer. The customer doesn't really have to do anything except place the order on their smartphone. They don't have to pick up the food, and it all works virtually from their end. Instead of owning an actual physical restaurant, you either join a co-op food preparation location or you rent space in an active restaurant during its off hours. They call these ghost kitchens, and that's what really makes this affordable. You don't have to lease a location, just a space inside of one. And that location will already have the necessary food preparation licenses. You don't have to pay utilities, and operating costs are just a fraction of what you would pay with a physical restaurant. These types of businesses are growing rapidly. And if you use food delivery services, then you've definitely come across them before. If you've ever seen a new restaurant as you're browsing one of these apps and then tried to Google the name of it and no location popped up, then it's probably a virtual restaurant. And just to give you an idea of where the industry is going, experts estimate that the virtual restaurant market will grow to more than $13.97 billion by 2030, growing at an annual rate of 12.5%. The pandemic really changed how people order food because we just got more used to ordering food from our cell phones. And because of that, that's given new rise to these new virtual restaurants. And by the way, this is the exact same model that Mr. Beast used to launch Mr. Beast Burger. And he launched in 300 different markets simultaneously. If you prove the capability of your concept, then expansion and even franchising are definitely possible. So this small business definitely has the potential to grow into something huge. If you have any basic cooking skills and can present something new that isn't already on the market, then this might be the perfect model for you. Look up ghost kitchens or shared kitchens in your area, establish a menu, sign up to a food delivery service, and get to cooking. Number 2 on our list of $1,000 businesses that you can start today is a lawn care service. And you're probably thinking that this is a business for teenagers. But when was the last time that a teenager knocked on your door asking if they could cut your grass? Personally, I've been living in my house for more than a decade. And since then, not one teenager has come to my door asking to take care of my lawn. Times are different. Most kids would rather be on their cell phones and their tablets than out cutting grass or making money. So what does that mean for homeowners? It means they either have to cut their grass themselves or they have to hire a company. Unfortunately, lawn care companies often have bad reputations. They can be quite expensive and they often don't show up on time. And this makes a great opportunity for someone like you who can give them the service that they need. Depending on where you live, there are probably thousands of houses right now in your neighborhood, and any of them can be a customer. And this isn't some small, tiny industry either. The lawn care and landscaping sector is worth $101 billion per year and is still growing. Now, I'm almost positive that you're thinking right now, you need a truck and a bunch of equipment to start a lawn care company. But the fact is that on day one, you don't necessarily need these things. On day one, you just need a lawnmower, a weed whacker, and maybe an edger. And you can buy those things used on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. You don't need a truck either on the first day. When you're first getting started, try getting clients on your street or the next street over, close enough that you can walk. Build your initial base there. Try to get your first 25 clients right in a walking distance from your home. If you're charging, say, $50 per lawn per week, for instance, that's $1,250 per week. Save that money for 10 weeks and you'll have enough to buy a truck so that you can widen your radius. By the time you get like 35 or 40 clients, you'll probably need some help. And now you'll have the cash flow you need to bring on an employee or purchase more efficient equipment. And honestly, lawn care companies have infinite growth potential. I mean, sure, there are people who can cut a few lawns and make $100 per week, but there are also humongous companies that service commercial clients that make millions of dollars each year. It really all depends on how large you can grow it and how large you want to grow it. But on day one, $1,000 and some hard work will definitely get you going. Just like virtual restaurants, there's another business concept that has only really started emerging over the last few years. And that's our third $1,000 business, which is launching an e-scooter charging hub. And I'm sure that right now you're probably thinking like, what does that even mean? And it's okay because I'm gonna explain. So you know those scooters that you've been seeing all over the place? If you live in an urban area, then I'm sure that you've seen them lined up at the end of every major street. But what you probably don't know is that those scooters are battery powered. And after several hours of usage, the batteries run out. And then an independent contractor comes by, they collect the scooter, they charge it, and then they drop it back off on the street. And in exchange for the service, the e-scooter company pays them a commission. Now, I'm not suggesting that you become one of these contractors. I mean, that's a route too, but to me, that's not the real opportunity. Because a problem exists for the contractors too. If they come and pick up the scooters and take them home, there are only so many outlets in their house that they can use. If there's 5 outlets available and it takes 2 hours to charge each scooter, then that limits the amount that they can collect and that they can charge up each day. This is where e-scooter charging hubs come in. Basically, it's a place that has enough power and enough outlets to charge 10, 20, or even maybe 50 scooters at a time. The contractor brings the scooter in and then the hub charges it. And then the contractor picks it up and then the hub earns a fee. And that can either be a specific amount per scooter or a percentage of the contractor's earnings. The person that's picking up the scooters, they're pretty limited because they can only pick up so many per day. But the person who owns the hub, they have unlimited growth potential. Once they maximize one location, they can start another location in a different area and serve all the contractors that live there. So how can you do this under $1,000? Well, it's pretty easy. You have an electrician come to your house and create an area with enough power and enough outlets to safely charge, say, 10 or 20 scooters. You put an ad out to individuals that are charging scooters for different companies like Lime or Bird, and then you start striking some new deals. You'll start making money as soon as you start charging your first e-scooter. Just make sure that you put some money to the side because your power bill is definitely gonna go up. This business is super scalable too. Once you max out your space, you can get a larger location or set up a second location to take on new clients. If you're gonna be successful in any business, there are 3 steps that you must take right now. Step 1, hit the like button. Step 2, hit the subscribe. And step 3, turn on the notifications. Okay, you'll succeed even if you don't do this, but we launch new videos every week giving you the information that you need to grow your business even faster. And we would love to have you as part of our community. All right, so we talked about some newer business models like scooter hubs and virtual restaurants, but there are still several more traditional business types that you can start under $1,000, and those business models still work too. So the 4th business that you can start for almost nothing and make a ton of money with is a junk removal company. Junk sounds disgusting, like you're dealing with toxic waste or something, but that's usually not the case. Usually it's like construction materials, old furniture, or a bunch of old stuff that people are getting rid of after cleaning up their basements and garages. So how can you do this business today and for under $1,000 when you're probably gonna need a truck to haul everything? Well, here's how it works. First, you market your service, and you can do this by joining neighborhood Facebook groups or posting advertisements on Craigslist. When a request comes in, then you ask the questions that you need to determine the size of the job, like the square footage of the residence and the amount of things that need to be removed. and then schedule a date and time with the customer. And I would probably also collect a down payment of some type just to keep you from wasting time in case they end up canceling or they need to reschedule. Then on the day of the service, you just visit your local U-Haul facility and rent a truck. Renting a small U-Haul truck can be as cheap as $20 per day, and you should be able to make much more than that on one single service. The real potential here comes when you're able to serve multiple clients within a single day. If you're hauling junk, you'll also have to pay the local dump to accept all the trash. So you'll have to figure that into your expenses as well. So let's say that you spent $20 on the truck and $20 per truckload at the dump. And let's say you get 3 junk hauling clients for $150 each job in a single day. And each of them has enough trash to fill up 1/3 of the truck. In that case, you can do all 3 jobs before you drop off the load to the landfill. You'll earn $450 in revenue and pay out $40 in expenses, leaving $410 in profit in a single day. And you'll be able to scale this business as well. When you find the right marketing strategy to bring in multiple customers per day, then you can hire someone for say $20 per hour to run another truck. Now you can handle say 3 clients per day and then book 3 other clients that your employee would take care of. Your expenses are gonna double. So you're paying $40 per day on trucks and then $40 per day at the landfill. And you're paying out $160 per day in staff costs. So your 6 jobs bring you $900, you pay $240 and earn $660 in profit. And that's a daily number. Eventually you build up your cash reserve and now you can purchase your own truck. And when you get to that level, that'll allow you to grow your business even more. And once you get things rolling, then you can really expand things by seeking out corporate contracts. For example, you can get a contract with a company that rehabs houses so that they call you every time they need to clear out a new property. These types of deals can give you long-term revenue and grow your business way faster than having to attract new jobs each day. Sometimes you can start expensive businesses for almost nothing just by using a bit of creativity and leveraging the resources that are already available to you. And this is one of those businesses that require a little bit of creativity. The 5th business that you can start for under $1,000 is a cleaning service. Believe it or not, there's a ton of potential for cleaning businesses, especially since the pandemic. See, the pandemic took a large portion of the workforce and then put them into home offices. Now people work at their homes, and when they finish working, they are less likely to want to clean their houses the way that they used to. As a result, the residential cleaning sector is growing more than it has in decades. In 2020, the global household cleaners market was valued at around $34.6 billion, and is estimated to reach $46.9 billion by 2026. And that's if you're even focusing on residential, because you could choose to focus on serving small businesses. See, the global contract cleaning market was worth more than $308 billion in 2020, but it will reach $468 billion in 2027. As more people return to the workplace, along with the pandemic, monkeypox, and the fear of other viruses spreading, companies are really focusing more on cleaning and sterilizing their environments. And the time is right for a dependable cleaning company to enter the market. On your end, all you need to do is buy supplies, market your services, and start bringing in new customers. And when you're starting out, you can use that same advertising structure, joining neighborhood groups on Facebook and putting ads in the services section on Craigslist. Or you can use the money that you have left over to launch a Google Ads campaign. And in that way, you'll show up in the rankings when people search on Google for cleaning services within your specific neighborhood. The good thing about corporate cleaning is that you can sign long-term contracts. Some contracts are daily, which will immediately fill up your schedule. However, just like with the junk hauling business, this is an easy model to duplicate because it's pretty simple to hire someone for an hourly wage and then train them to clean to your standards and put them on additional contracts, allowing you to keep all the profit that's earned. Let's talk about a really unique business model that you probably never even considered. Our number 6 business that you can start for under $1,000 is a local tours business. There are so many different types of tour offerings these days, like historical tours where you can learn about the history of a city, real estate tours where you look at interesting houses in a certain area, celebrity tours where tourists get to see where celebrities reside. You have haunted tours where tourists check out haunted houses, and even shopping tours where a guide will take a tourist to the best places to shop within a specific area. All you need to do is find something interesting that tourists wouldn't be able to see or wouldn't know to see otherwise. Depending on what you're touring, you might have to get permission from or strike deals with the owners. With the shopping tour, for instance, you can charge each person for the tour, and then you might be able to strike a deal with the owner of the stores that you'll be taking them to, where you earn a percentage of everything that tourists buy from them during the tour. In that case, you're providing a service to both the tourists and the store owners, so you can double dip when it comes to charging. If you're doing a walking tour, then you can have all the tourists meet you in one place and then begin the tour there. If it's a driving tour, you can rent a van. But depending upon where you live, you might need a special type of license to transport people. That's something that you'll need to figure out before you start driving people around. Again, creativity can really take you a long way. You have to find something that's both different and attractive. In Colorado, for example, there are companies making millions of dollars hosting cannabis tours, where they take people on buses to different tourist attractions, especially weed-friendly attractions, and gives them a selection of marijuana and edibles to consume during the experience. Colorado has legalized both medical and recreational marijuana, so that makes these tours super timely and extremely profitable. And all you need to do is put the tour together, advertise, strike any necessary deals with owners, and print up some marketing materials that you can hand out during the tours. And then you're in business. Okay, here's a bonus one, and it's one that's really close to me because it's how I got into entrepreneurship. The number 7 business that you can start for under $1,000 is a middlemaning business. And these type of businesses can take many forms. The premise is you build relationships with suppliers and you create a way to attract customers. Then you sell the service and contract it out to the supplier. It's really just that simple. So for instance, let's say that you know that there is a need in the market for people who want work done on their homes. You know, plumbing, heating and cooling, electrical, and that type of stuff. You can build relationships with trusted contractors around your town or within your region and then launch a home repair company. Maybe you have a website that offers those services and you're using ads to attract people that's searching for those services within your area. Or maybe you're offering services on a platform like Angie's List. Or maybe you're just utilizing social media to drive new business. When you get a lead, you pass it to your supplier and you act somewhat like a matchmaker between the customer and the contractor. Now, either you're going to be charging a fee to the contractor for each lead that you bring in, or you take their price and add your fee on top of it as part of the final price to the customer. That's just one example. But as I mentioned, I started my career as a middleman, but really in a much different way. Back in like 2010, I started offering different services to businesses like logos, websites, ebooks, and even mobile apps. Now, I'm not a designer or a developer. However, because I had worked on several projects before, I had relationships with dozens of contractors like designers, writers, mobile app developers, and several others. I started a website offering these services and began creating content that was relevant to the needs of business owners. I learned the best practices for SEO, and I used those to rank my articles and my site for related terms on Google. And eventually I started getting traffic. When a lead would come in, I would make the sale and then hire one of my contractors to complete it. None of my clients really knew that there was someone else working on their project, and nor did they care as long as they were getting the work done at the quality that they expected. And it didn't cost me nearly $1,000 to start the business. I simply just put up a simple website, talked to all my contractors to lock in prices, and started looking for customers. Eventually, I scaled that to a business with several full-time employees, but I easily made several $100,000s with that business model. Now that you know what types of businesses to start, there's just one obstacle that you'll need to overcome in order to actually build something successful. And you can learn what that is in this video right here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care and keep doing amazing shit.